You have been lied to. Not by one person, not by one company, by an entire system. Built specifically to keep you spending, borrowing, working, and never ever getting ahead. You spent 13 years in school. They taught you Shakespeare, trigonometry, the water cycle. But not one day, not one single lesson on how money actually works. 52% of Australians under 30 are financially stressed right now. 19% skipped meals last year because of money. 22% went without medical care. These people all went to school. They all passed their exams. And nobody taught them this. That's not a failure of the system. That is the system. Working exactly as designed. Stay with me because what I'm about to show you changes how you see every financial decision you have ever made. Here are the numbers nobody's talking about. Nearly half of all adults in developed countries cannot answer basic questions about how money works. What is compound interest? How does inflation silently eat your savings? Where's your retirement fund actually invested? Most people cannot answer these, yet every single one of them has a bank account. Debt, a retirement fund worth hundreds of thousands of dollars that they do not understand. Here in Australia, 4.2 trillion sits in retirement savings. That's larger than this entire country's economy. And the majority of people have never made a single active decision about it. They left it in the default setting while that money quietly worked for someone else. 1 in 3 people never or rarely plans for their financial future. Not because they don't care, because nobody ever showed them how. Countries that made financial education compulsory in schools, Denmark, New Zealand, Estonia, have financial literacy rates of 70% and above. Countries that left it optional are sitting at 45 to 55% and declining. Decades of government strategies, zero mandatory action. Ask yourself why. Here's why. The same people who designed your school system also designed your relationship with money. Rockefeller, Carnegie, the industrial giants. They didn't just want obedient workers, they wanted obedient consumers. Think about what school actually taught you about money. Get good grades, get a good job, get a good salary, and spend it. Not invest it, not understand it, not make it work for you, just earn it and spend it. Because here's what the system figured out early. A person who understands compound interest builds wealth. A person who doesn't builds debt. And debt is the most profitable product ever created. The global consumer debt market is worth $15 trillion. Credit cards, car loans, buy now, pay later, all designed for one type of person, the financially illiterate one. And who created the financially illiterate person? The same system that gave them a certificate for knowing the periodic table, but never explained what compound interest does to a credit card balance. Here's the part that will make you genuinely angry. When financially illiteracy programs do exist in schools, they are often funded by banks. And what do bank funded financial literacy programs teach? How to be a better consumer, how to manage your debt responsibly. Not how to eliminate it, not how to build wealth, how to be more profitable customer. The system is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. The question is, were you designed to benefit from it or were you designed for it to benefit from you? So what does the real game look like? The people who designed this system did not send their children to struggle with debt. They taught them something different, privately at home, before school even started. They taught them that money has two modes, money you work for and money that works for you. School only ever taught you the first one. Here's what the second one looks like. Compound interest working for you, not against you. Assets that appreciate, not depreciate. Tax advantages that legally keep your money in your pocket. Understanding the difference between a liability that drains you and an asset that builds you. The expensive car is a liability. It loses value the moment you drive it. The mortgage on a home you live in is a liability. The mortgage on a property someone else pays for is an asset. This is not an complicated knowledge. It is not secret knowledge. It is freely available. It has always been freely available, but it was never put in front of you because a population that understands this is a population that stops buying things it doesn't need. Stop taking loans it doesn't need. Stop working 3 jobs just to stay in the same place. Wealthy families pass this down, generation to generation. That's not luck, that's a system within the system. One that was never meant for you until now. So here's what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, tonight. Take a piece of paper, write down your income, write down every expense you have, every single one. Rent, food, car, subscriptions, loans, insurance, everything. Then do the math. Not for this month, for the next 20 years. Marriage, kids, school, mortgage, retirement. Write it all down. And then sit with what you see. If that number scares you, good, it should. Because that fear is the first honest conversation you have ever had with your money. You were never taught this. Your parents were never taught this. Their parents were never taught this. 3 generations of people working harder every decade and somehow always ending up in the same place. That is not bad luck. That is by design. The question is no longer whether you know the system is broken. You do now. The question is, are you going to be the generation that finally breaks it? The choice for the first time in your family's history is yours. I'm Jatinder, this is Breaking the Script, and I'll see you in the next one.